Welcome back to Otaku Daikun. This video's our 2016 Christmas special. Now let's face it, Japan has a very strange relationship with Christmas. Not that capitalist America has any right to judge, but Japan celebrates the holiday less by giving gifts and more by eating Christmas cakes and Kentucky Fried Chicken. KFC for Christmas? Yeah, that's really odd. Regardless, Japanese Christmas is nowhere nearly the gift-giving festival Westerners treat it as. In fact, Japan's just recently started marketing Black Friday as a thing. I feel so sorry for them. What's this got to do with anime? Well, it turns out that anime characters are rarely seen hanging out as a family, giving each other presents in a conventional sense. This has given me the idea of going Christmas shopping for anime characters, as if I were actually to celebrate the holiday with them. Super geeky, right? For this video, I've picked a slew of characters that I know or love, and browsed Amazon to see if I could choose the perfect gifts for them. The goal was to select gifts not only fitting for the characters, but also reasonable in price. Here's what I've come up with. Starting off with my all-time favorite character, Toria Pendragon. I had two different routes I could take, her love of lions or her love of food. During her lifetime before becoming a servant, Saber once raised a baby lion cub, and she's had an affinity for the felines ever since. In the visual novel of Fate Stay Night, Taiga winds up giving her a lion plush that she's very fond of. In the 2006 anime series, Shiro buys the same plush for her on a date. She's often seen in chibi form dressed as one, but it's not exactly canon. The obvious answer for me would be to get her an actual lion kigurumi for Christmas. This lion onesie is about $30 and looks cute and cozy. Something tells me that once she's overcome some initial embarrassment, she'll actually love wearing it, especially since she can transform into her armor whenever necessary. As for food, well, she explains in Fate Hollow Ataraxia that the food she ate in her time was merely cooked, lacking in any decent flavors, spices, or culinary experimentation. As such, even a flame-cooked baked potato is enough to greatly impress her. Not only that, but as a servant, she has an amazing appetite, and having drawn Caliburn to become king, she doesn't age or gain weight. As a result, she's constantly eating, and always excited to try new forms of gourmet cuisine. We know Shiro and Rin are already experienced in the kitchen, so they should be able to take up a recipe without issue. Thus, I've picked out this Gordon Ramsay cookbook, for those with a healthy appetite. Another favorite character of mine is Shiki, from Kudo Neko. You'd think it'd be hard to get a gift for her, since she's extremely uninterested in material things. Just look how empty her room is. While she's likely fond of any gift Kokuto gets her, such as small cups of Haagen-Dazs ice cream, there are some subtle things she takes interest in. The one that stands out for me is her infatuation with knives. We see this when she tries to pocket some of the cutlery out of Asaka's high school. This made things easy. I picked a 14-piece Ginsu knife set for her to swoon over. It's risky, and I'm an enabler, aren't I? Next, I put in Gilgamesh for a funny challenge. What do you buy for someone who believes all material things already belong to him? We can safely say, outside of some doujinshi, that there's at least one thing he doesn't have and likely never will. Saber herself. She'll kick his ass any day. So how might we solve this? It's a gag, but I recommend this raunchy-ass Saber Dakimakura cover with a body pillow. Like us, he can't have the real thing. And this is about as close as he can get. Next we have Ruri Goko, aka Kudo Neko, from Oremo. One of Kirino's close friends and rivals, Kudo Neko is a fellow otaku with her own specific tastes. Furthermore, she's a chunibyo, someone who takes their childlike beliefs and fantasies and pretending into their more adult years. She often presents herself as the Queen of Nightmare, dressed in a black gothic Lolita dress. While you'd think this to be a social liability, she very much enjoys it while still making friends and taking care of her family. Why not support her hobby? Turns out, she makes her own outfits. And she has a talent for sewing. If there were one thing I'd buy Kudo Neko, it'd be a new sewing machine. From my personal experience, brother sewing machines hold up pretty well, so she'd probably enjoy the gift. If you want to avoid some light spoilers from the anime F, A Tale of Memories, feel free to skip ahead, because the next character is Chihiro. We find out fairly early on that Chihiro suffers from a physical condition where she can only remember the previous 13 hours of her life. As a result, she relies on her own personal diary to keep her life in relative order. Obviously, just being a part of her life would be a challenge, let alone getting her a meaningful gift. However, there's something I at least think would come in handy. It's a digital voice recorder. While she could certainly use a camera to record her memories, she seems very comfortable with narrating her own life to herself. This little device would let her speak into it, just as if she were writing in her diary, but would give her one new way to express herself. My next character is Takumi Fujiwara from Initial D. Whether we're talking about his early days delivering tofu or his long expeditions with Project D, Takumi is no stranger to waking up early. While he might be used to it by now, that doesn't necessarily mean he couldn't use a pickup every now and again. Thus, I'd give him a coffee machine, in this case, one that's reasonably small, and actually empties into a capped thermos when on the go. While nothing can really beat the thrill of drifting around corners at ridiculously fast speeds, this might possibly help him in a different way. Let's take a look at Jet from Cowboy Bebop. It's painfully obvious how collecting bounties to pay for their meals is the key motivation behind the Bebop's crew from day to day. Beyond that though, Jet does happen to have a hobby he pursues, and that's tending to his beloved bonsai trees. Even though what he needs most is the time and patience to care for them, it wouldn't hurt to restock on his tools with this bonsai kit. He's old-fashioned, and I think this would work. Now we've got Okabe from Steins Gate. At first I thought like being an ass and choosing for him a new microwave to upgrade his time machine, but I'm pretty sure he doesn't want to deal with that ever again. What hasn't changed, however, is his crazy Hoin Kyoma act, where he takes on the identity of a mad scientist. If you look at his future gadgets, some of them are pretty geeky. He has a toy gun that acts as an infrared remote for his TV, as well as an illuminated glow stick that resembles a mini lightsaber. He's fascinated by things that seem high-tech, even if they're ordinary. The gift that comes to mind for me is one of those novelty plasma balls that look like lightning being conducted in the center. They generally look like they were ripped right out of Frankenstein's lab. Something tells me Okabe could spend hours just staring at it. Things are about to get pretty silly. We've got Gendo Ikari, who tends to look authoritative and intimidating. He could totally improve his image with this pair of aviator glasses.
There's nothing to see here!
Kanan, from the anime of the same name, is generally too occupied being a mercenary to partake in personal hobbies. Nevertheless, she treasures the time she spent playing Cat's Cradle with her friend Maria. Why not get her this Cat's Cradle guide with plenty of puzzles and even an instructional DVD? Whoa, be careful though, that spiral-bound copy is wicked expensive. I watched the Read or Die television series recently, and Maggie left a solid impression on me. She and her sisters are all paper masters, and aside from Anita, they love books of all sorts. In fact, they often buy so many books that they have no room in their homes to live. While it's great for them to have so much paper around, I have a feeling their capacity for reading exceeds the amount of budget and space for them to keep their books. The answer to that problem's simple. I'd get Maggie a Kindle Paperwhite, so she can vastly expand her library. There we go, a short, silly video for you all to enjoy this holiday season. If this video does well, I'll probably make it an annual trend. Maybe next year I'll up the ante by limiting the budget, maybe choosing rare characters or restricting the places I can shop. Let me know what you think. Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays to all of you. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a like and subscribe to Otaku Daikun for more anime lists, reviews, analyses, discussions, recommendations, and Let's Plays. Until next time, celebrate your fandom.